Is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. And good morning to you. Glad you're with us on this beautiful sunny morning, a morning that is much like it was 45 years ago today. Bright sunshine greeting us when we awoke that morning. I was just a teenager heading into my senior year of high school on this morning in July of 1977, when I was awakened by my parents, who said, you need to go down to the neighbor down there on the lower street because they are evacuating all of his possessions from the house and getting them up to higher ground because the river is flooding over. Little did I know how serious that was, and boy, my eyes were opened through the course of that day, as were the eyes of many, many, many people in our region. Here in Indiana County, of course, Cambria County and Johnstown and all of the communities along the Conemaugh. And so that is our setup this morning for our conversation with Father Willie Lechnar, who joins us from the Holy Family Church in Seward. And Father, good morning to you.
Good morning, Todd.
It's good to have you with us. Our conversation is brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. 45 years ago today, and it's interesting to me, Father, how the attention paid to it as the years go on seems to be less and less and less. Of course, the 50th will be a big year. We'll hear a lot about it then. But we won't. Those of us who were there for that won't ever forget it, and we want to make sure nobody else does either. And that's
right.
A little bit about what tonight is about, isn't it?
Right. Tonight is our second annual Blue Mass, and the Blue Mass has a long history in the United States of originally honoring police officers. And now it honors all first responders, fire, police, medical, but I also like to include all of those other first responders that are taken for granted by many, those who work for electrical companies, those who work for water companies, those who do anything to help us when we have a tragedy, when we have a natural disaster, to get our lives back in order.
Yeah, absolutely. When you think of the risks that they take, I think of say an electrical worker. You mentioned that in the middle of a winter blizzard, when they're out in the middle of the woods looking for the line that is down and that is causing the power outage and costing people heat and putting their lives in danger. These are men and women who are more than willing to step up and do whatever needs to be done to serve others, and service is what it's all about. And
Todd, that's exactly what the theme of this evening's Mass is, and this was not a setup. Your audience won't believe it, but that you are right on target. We're focusing this evening on Paul's letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, that says in the one scripture reading we'll have that we have to be willing to serve God. And in serving God, we're serving one another. And let me tell you, the first responders that I've been blessed to know over these many years are just exemplary. They are willing to sacrifice for folks they don't even know. You mentioned about the power line workers in the winter. They're willing to travel. Winter, summer, right now we're having outages in our nation because of the extreme temperatures and fires. Men and women are ready to go and to do whatever it takes to make sure that folks get their lives back in order.
It fascinates me as well. And I constantly talk about it here in the program. When an ambulance goes by or a fire truck goes by, that those are people, they drop everything when the emergency occurs. And for them to do that and to many times risk their own safety in order to ensure the safety of others, it takes a very special person.
And you know what, Todd? We're blessed to have so many people are first responders. And like I said, they may not even consider themselves first responders.
Yeah.
But they are. They are.
Absolutely. Okay, so tell me exactly what happens tonight in Seward.
Well, tonight at 7 o'clock we have our Blue Mass, which is an opportunity to pray for and pray with first responders from all over our region. Also, we will, at the conclusion of that Mass, have the opportunity for folks from the various fire companies and police departments to have their equipment and their vehicles blessed, asking God simply just to help preserve them and help them to use the tools that they have been provided with in their ministry, because it's not just a job, it is a ministry.
And this will be happening at Holy Family Parish, right?
Holy Family Parish at Seward. We're at 425 Bridge Street for those who need a GPS direction. And we're basically at the intersection of Route 711 and Route 56.
Yeah. One of the interesting things and most meaningful things about this being at Holy Family is Seward was impacted directly. There were kids in my high school class who were, I can think of at least one who died in that flood. There were people from Seward who were killed in that flood, and the damage was in the millions of dollars in Seward. Of course, Robindale was wiped off the map and gave birth to Robindale Heights, and there are parishioners at your church who live there just outside of Seward. And so people, for them, this is a memory that will never go away. And a terrible memory for some, but it's also a chance for them to focus upon the spirit that comes out of an event such as that and the togetherness of a community.
Well, that's why, I've been blessed to begin to hear stories. I've been here 2 years now, and it's amazing when you ask someone who was in the throes of that disaster what it was like. You talk about you remembering the morning sunshine. They remember the most detailed aspects of what happened to them, whether it would be them having to flee. I had parishioners who were up in trees holding an infant for 15 hours, waiting to get rescued. It's really amazing at how people who lived it remember it, and we owe them the respect and the dignity to honor what they went through, which was not easy. And the people are very appreciative of having that memory, and regardless of their religious affiliation. This Blue Mass is not just for Catholics. It's for anyone who wants to come and honor and respect those who gave so much and those who give so much. And there are many who were influenced in 1977 and are now our age, although I was only going into my sophomore year, so I'm a little bit behind you in high school. But they are honored in so many ways.
Yeah. And so tonight will be a night of great emotion as that day and night is remembered. Of course, the 19th is when the flooding or the rains came, and the 20th when we awoke was when we were seeing all of that damage. It happened here in Indiana Borough, in Blairsville, of course, the town I grew up in, Bolivar, I know some of your parishioners are from Bolivar.
Sure.
I recall standing on the railroad bridge with the water about 2 feet away from me because I'm an idiot.
Right.
I was standing
all along there, New Florence as well, Charles, all of these little communities, Kramer, you have them all, and each person has their own take on that devastating day. And
it's a night to come together in commemoration of that, but also in celebration of the folks who are standing there. And whatever the crisis is, they're there for us. It's a very special thing. So 7 o'clock tonight, correct?
7 o'clock tonight at Holy Family Parish here in Seward. It's also a chance for us to remember, maybe not in detail because there is not too many folks around who remember the 1936 flood.
Yeah.
And then even before that, in the 1880s. This is not the first time, 77 was not the first time that these communities have experienced devastation. No. And whether they were called or not, there were first responders back then who helped.
The 1889 flood was the most devastating of all in terms of lives lost.
2,208 folks died, and that's just the best guesstimate that that we have, and then 25 in 1936, and then 84 in 1977.
The Blue Mass is happening at Holy Family Parish tonight in Seward, 7 p.m., and afterward will be the blessing of the emergency response vehicles and equipment. Folks can take their equipment, fire trucks, ambulances, police vehicles, whatever it might be.
AEDs, whatever equipment if it's a stethoscope that you use and you want it blessed, we'll bless it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Father Willie Lechnar, thanks so much for spending some time with us. I say every time we talk that we need to do this more often.
We do, Todd, and thanks for your service to our community. And I forgot to say, radio and media people are also first responders. So thank you for your service.
Well, we're quite a few steps below those who are actually out there, but we appreciate that so very much. Hey, have a wonderful day today.
You too. God bless.
Bye now. There's Father Willie Lechnar with us this morning here on Indiana in the Morning.